When you think of the most dominant defenses in NFL history, the 2000 Baltimore Ravens are always at the top of the list. They didn't just win Super Bowl 35, they suffocated the league, setting an NFL record for the fewest points allowed in a 16-game season. To open up the 2001 season, they looked just as terrifying. Opponents were averaging a measly 201 total yards per game against them, including just 143 yards through the air. Entering Lambeau Field on October 14, 2001, nobody expected what was about to happen. This is the story of the greatest game Brett Favre ever played that nobody seems to remember. To understand how great this game was, you have to understand the context. The Ravens were the defending champions, built entirely on an historic, impenetrable defense. They made elite quarterbacks look like rookies. But Green Bay had number 4. Brett Favre was a gunslinger, known for taking wild risks. Against this specific Ravens defense, risks usually meant turnovers. Instead, Favre put on an absolute clinic in efficiency, completely picking apart a legendary defense. Favre didn't do it alone, but his primary weapon that day broke out of a slump. Wide receiver Antonio Freeman was having a brutal start to the 2001 season. Through the first 4 games, Freeman had a grand total of just 9 catches. He was practically a non-factor. But against Baltimore's elite secondary, something clicked. Favre targeted Freeman early and often. Freeman matched his entire season total in this game, exploding for 9 receptions, 138 yards, and a touchdown. He simply could not be covered. Look at Favre's final stat line. 27 of 34 for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns for a 137.4 passer rating. Against a defense giving up barely 200 total yards a game, Favre blew past that mark by the third quarter with his passing alone. He was accurate, disciplined, and deadly. The Ravens actually jumped out to a 7-0 lead. But then Favre carved up the Ravens. Favre hit Bubba Franks for a touchdown to tie it up at 7. A Ryan Longwell 33-yard field goal made it 10-7 Packers. Favre then connected with Antonio Freeman for an 8-yard touchdown to make it 17-7 going into the half. Baltimore expected to adjust, but Favre kept his foot on the gas. First, the Ravens mustered a field goal to make it competitive at 17-10. Favre led the Packers down the field again, and Ahman Green capped off the drive by plowing into the end zone to make it 24-10. The Packers further built a shocking 31-10 lead after Favre hit Bubba Franks for another touchdown. The reigning Super Bowl champions, led by Ray Lewis, were down by 3 touchdowns at Lambeau Field. Alongside Freeman, Bubba, and Ahman, players such as Bill Schroeder, Donald Driver, and Dorsey Levens also got into the mix and contributed to the offense. The Ravens mounted a late garbage time comeback, but the damage was done. The final score read 31-23, but the game wasn't even that close. There's been times Favre put up more yards or more touchdowns, but I don't believe he was ever better than on this October day in 2001 versus the top defense in football.